How is your marriage going, my friend? If you're like so many people, unfortunately, most people's marriage doesn't end very well. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 secrets on how to create the most magical, amazing marriage you could possibly dream of. How would you love to have the most magical marriage you've ever thought possible? How would you love to absolutely rock your relationships? My friend, my name is Eric Bailey. I've been married for 8.5 years to the absolute girl of my dreams. We've had our ups and we've had our downs. Thankfully, we've learned these 5 secrets to an absolutely magical marriage. The first one is creating a connection. Of course, this means different things to different people. For some people, it means determining how often you're going to actually have a physical connection. My wife and I love to give each other what we call heart-to-heart hugs, meaning when we go in for a hug, we don't go to the left, we go to the right, so that our hearts are actually close to each other. What that does is it creates a very real emotional download, and if one of us is feeling down, it allows us to then pull each other up. It allows us to form that deeper connection, which then translates to having a happier marriage. Number 2, we love to find out what each other's love languages are, and we make sure to fill them. A study was done years and years ago which showed that each of us has at least one of 5 major love languages that we love to have filled. That's how we feel loved. These love languages include words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, loving touch, and quality time together. And just because your love language is one of them, that doesn't necessarily mean that your spouse's love language is the same thing. It's critical that you find out what makes your spouse tick. And then you make sure to fill that love language in whatever helps them to feel loved. For example, there are sometimes people will, around my birthday, come and give me gifts. Now, I love receiving gifts, but that's actually at the bottom of my love language list. My top 2 are words of affirmation, so people saying like really nice things about me, and acts of service. When someone does something that lightens my load and makes it so that I have less work to do, things like maybe taking my car to get it washed, or cleaning the bedroom, or doing the dishes, or maybe doing some sort of marketing activity that I know needs to get done so that I don't have to do it. That makes me feel loved. That makes me feel, oh my gosh, this is incredible. My wife's love language, on the other hand, is quality time together. And so, as she's giving me words of affirmation and doing service for me, I know that I need to make sure to actually be there and spend time with her so that she feels love. My friend, what's your spouse's love language? Make sure to find it out, and then make sure to do it. Number 3, find out their favorites. One of the things that really makes my relationship with my wife interesting is the fact that her favorites are constantly changing, especially when she's expecting. We're currently expecting our 4th child, and the things that she enjoys doing and like the foods that she enjoys eating are constantly changing. And so I'm constantly having to ask her, hey, what's your favorite meal? What's your favorite dessert? If I were to take you to a nice restaurant, what type of restaurant would you want to go? So that I can plan special occasions and allow her to feel really, really special. Oh, so Eric, why is it that she isn't here? It's because I know what her favorites are. I know that her favorite things don't include standing in front of a camera and making videos. She loves me, I love her, and of course she loves you, but she doesn't enjoy making these videos, which is why she isn't here. I respect the fact that her interests and her favorites are different than mine. I like to find out what hers are, and then I love to surprise her. Years ago, we started a tradition inside our marriage because our anniversary is right before Christmas. It's right before Christmas, and of course we have Christmas, and then a week and a half later, she has her birthday. And so we get this triple combination of celebrations in the middle of winter, which, when you live here in Utah, doesn't exactly open up a whole lot of possibilities for activities unless you're big-time skiers or snowboarders, which we simply aren't. When we were first married, we decided that we wanted to celebrate what we call our half anniversary, or what I like to call nowadays summer surprises, which means each summer I get to plan a number of activities according to what her favorite things are. I get to surprise her and kind of whisk her away to these magical locations and these magical activities because I know that that strengthens our relationship. My friend, find out what your spouse's favorites are. Make a mental note, or if you need to, write them down, and then make sure to do them. Number 4, make sure you invest in your relationships. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say things like, well, we just can't afford to go on a date right now. Just money's really, really tight. My friend, if you've had that thought cross your mind, I'm going to suggest that you can't afford not to go on dates. Yes, sometimes it takes a little bit of money to go on dates, maybe go out to dinner, hire a babysitter, but it requires a lot more money to get a divorce. My friend, if you're watching this video, my suggestion to you is to begin to make a plan of action for you to invest in your relationship. One of the things that my wife and I love to do is we love going to other people's seminars. Even though we put on our own seminars, we own a seminar company, we still love to continue to learn more about our relationship and different things that we can do to keep strengthening it. And so you better believe we're constantly looking for other classes or other things that we can do to invest in our relationship. I remember a few years ago, I was planning a 7-day cruise for my wife's upcoming birthday. I priced it all out and I saw that it was going to cost somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 for the 7-day cruise with all the bells and whistles. At the time, I was still waiting tables, and so $4,000 or $5,000 was like 2 months worth of income for me at that time. I remember a certain family member told me that I was extremely foolish for wanting to spend that much money. She said something to the effect of, "Why are you spending so much money? I'm sure she'd be thrilled with something a fraction of the cost." And I said, "You're probably right. I'm sure she would be happy with just about anything that we did. However, I understand that every penny that I put towards that amazing cruise was an investment in our relationship." And I had to look at that person right in the eyes, and that person was divorced. And very kindly, I had to say, "I'm doing this so that we stay married. I don't want to end up like so many people whose marriage ends in divorce. I understand the fact that if I want our marriage to last forever, we have to treat it differently than other temporal things." Find ways to invest in your marriage, my friend. Go to classes, go to seminars, go on vacation together. It doesn't have to be super expensive. It could be just going and spending a night at an inexpensive hotel and just reconnecting that way. Investing in your marriage is one of the absolute best investments that you can make. Finally, one of the biggest killers that I've seen to other people's marriages is when one spouse has a dream and the other spouse completely kills it. I first learned how to be a presenter a few years ago when my wife and I both invested in a certain program to teach us how to be presenters. And I saw other people going through this program, and when I said, "Oh, you're doing really, really amazing. I'm seeing the presentations that you're doing. Are you going to go all the way with it and actually start a business?" "Well, no, my wife doesn't want me to." And I remember seeing the joy just leaving their eyes, and I remember thinking, how in the world would a spouse do that? Why in the world would a person see their spouse really wanting to achieve a certain dream and totally shut it down? My friend, if you want to form a deeper connection, a more magical marriage, you need to support the dreams and the goals of your spouse. Some of the deepest, most incredible moments of our marriage have been when my wife and I have sat across from each other and we've simply brainstormed and we've masterminded and we've come up with ideas on how we can make each other's dreams a reality. My friend, if you've been guilty of stomping on your spouse's dreams, please stop. Please turn it around and please help them get to a point where you can actually make it happen. Support them in their dreams. They will thank you forevermore. My friend, thank you so very much for watching. Again, These are 5 ways to have a more magical marriage. You're worth it, my friend. And so is your marriage. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. Take a look, I actually talked her into being a part of the video.
Hey!
I hope you enjoyed this video all about how to create more magic inside your marriage. As always, if you benefited from the information, please like and hit subscribe. And as always, if you want to take your life to the next level, just like we did, make sure to join us at one of our next live events. I promise you will love it.